It's more emotional, it feels more personal, but that said, it doesn't sacrifice what the audiences love when it comes to the scope, scale, and action.
That, I think, was really difficult for all of us to kind of wrap our heads around, because we're all used to doing scenes where, obviously, where we know each other.
Yeah. It was real strange. I was watching the first half. I was like, this sounds like weird. I was like, weird to play. It's like to switch your mind off.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's
I got really jealous.
Yeah.
I got really jealous. Like, they're like,
do fun scenes.
yeah, they have all these fun moments together, and I'm just supposed to be off in the corner, like, sad. Like, yesterday we did a chat show, and I couldn't, when I walked on stage, like, I didn't know if, like, I should shake the guy's hand first, or you should shake his hand first, or, like, who should go sit down, and then I kind of was in, so there's definitely, like, an awkward kid in me somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think with any character you play, you always draw from your own kind of life and experience.
Don't you supposed to be angry right now? The thing is, I'm always angry. And I was like, I love that part in that.
What if I told you that after nearly a decade of playing Spider-Man, Tom Holland believes this is the most emotional movie he's ever made? Not the biggest, not the funniest, the most personal. And here's something even more surprising. While fans are excited to see Tom Holland and Zendaya reunite on screen, Tom admits there were moments during filming when he actually became jealous. Yes, jealous.
Why?
Because after the heartbreaking ending of the last Spider-Man movie, everything changed. Peter Parker is now completely alone, and filming those scenes affected the cast more than anyone expected. In today's video, we're taking you behind the scenes of Spider-Man, Brand New Day, where Tom Holland and Zendaya reveal emotional stories, funny moments, and why this film could mark the beginning of an entirely new era for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's dive in. Spider-Man has always balanced thrilling superhero action with heartfelt human emotion. From the very beginning, Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker wasn't just another superhero. He was awkward, funny, relatable, and someone fans instantly connected with. But according to Tom, Brand New Day takes everything to another level. He explains that this is easily the most mature Spider-Man film they've ever made. It explores deeper emotions, more personal struggles, and higher emotional stakes while still delivering the huge action sequences audiences expect. That's a difficult balance. Many superhero films focus heavily on explosions and visual effects, but this movie aims to make viewers care just as much about Peter Parker's emotional journey as they do about the action. For Tom, that's exactly what makes this installment so special. Making 4 Spider-Man movies isn't easy. After years of web-slinging adventures, the biggest challenge becomes keeping everything fresh. Tom says every new film pushes the team to reinvent these characters, finding new tones, new emotions, and new ways to surprise audiences instead of repeating the same formula. That's one reason fans continue returning to theaters. Every Spider-Man movie has felt unique. Homecoming introduced Peter Parker. Far From Home explored responsibility. No Way Home changed Peter's life forever. Now Brand New Day asks a new question. Who is Peter Parker when nobody remembers him? That single question changes everything. If you remember the ending of the previous Spider-Man film, you'll know exactly why this movie feels different. Peter Parker made the ultimate sacrifice. To save the multiverse, he allowed Dr. Strange's spell to erase himself from everyone's memory. MJ forgot him. Ned forgot him. Even the people closest to him no longer knew who Peter Parker was. That heartbreaking ending wasn't just emotional for audiences. It completely transformed how the actors had to perform together. Zendaya explains that suddenly MJ is living a life where Peter simply doesn't exist anymore. That reality made filming feel incredibly strange because the cast had spent years portraying close friendships and relationships. Imagine spending years building chemistry with your co-stars, then walking onto set pretending you've never met. That's exactly what they had to do. Here's the moment that surprised everyone. Tom admits he actually became jealous while filming, not because of fame, not because of action scenes, but because Zendaya and another cast member shared fun moments together while Peter Parker was left isolated. Tom jokes that after every take he'd walk over asking, "So, what are you guys talking about?" Meanwhile, the others would laugh because Peter wasn't supposed to be part of those conversations. It's funny, but it also shows how deeply the actors care about these characters. For years they've worked side by side, sharing nearly every scene. Suddenly, Tom found himself watching from a distance exactly as Peter Parker experiences in the story. Sometimes acting becomes much easier when the emotions you're portraying are genuinely happening behind the scenes. One reason Tom Holland's Spider-Man feels so authentic is because he isn't pretending to be someone completely different. According to Tom, Peter Parker's awkwardness comes naturally. He laughs about appearing on a talk show where he couldn't even decide who should shake hands first or where everyone should sit. Those small moments reminded him that there's still an awkward kid inside him. And that's exactly what he brings to Peter Parker. This honesty is one reason audiences connect with him. Spider-Man isn't perfect. He's nervous. He's unsure. He makes mistakes. He's relatable. Instead of hiding those qualities, Tom embraces them, making Peter Parker feel like someone who could genuinely exist. Zendaya also opened up about what makes her version of MJ unique. Rather than copying earlier portrayals, director John Watts wanted to create a completely different interpretation. This MJ isn't trying to fit in. She has her own personality, her own dry sense of humor, and marches to the beat of her own drum. Those qualities are exactly what Peter falls in love with. Zendaya explains that Peter also helps MJ open up emotionally. Around him, she feels safe enough to show a warmer side of herself. That emotional connection became one of the strongest relationships in the MCU, which is exactly why losing those memories hurts so much. Unlike previous Spider-Man adventures, this story isn't just about defeating a villain. It's about loneliness, identity, sacrifice, starting over. Peter saved everyone, but in doing so, he lost the people he loved most. That emotional conflict is what Tom believes makes this movie so powerful. Yes, there will be spectacular action. Yes, there will be thrilling Marvel moments. But beneath all of that is the story of a young man trying to rebuild his life from nothing. And according to both Tom Holland and Zendaya, that emotional journey is the true heart of Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Every superhero has someone who inspires them. For Peter Parker, it was always Tony Stark. But for Tom Holland himself, it wasn't just Iron Man who changed his life, it was the man behind the armor, Robert Downey Jr. Long before Tom became one of Marvel's biggest stars, Robert welcomed him into a franchise unlike anything he'd ever experienced. Suddenly, Tom wasn't just acting in movies. He was part of one of the biggest cinematic universes in history. That kind of pressure could overwhelm anyone. But Tom says there was always one person he knew he could call whenever he needed guidance. Robert Downey Jr. When asked what Robert Downey Jr. taught him, Tom's answer wasn't about acting techniques or delivering dramatic performances. Instead, it was about how to be a professional. Tom explains that Robert was always available whenever he needed advice. Because Robert had already experienced the challenges of becoming a global superstar, he understood exactly what Tom was going through. Whenever Tom had questions, Robert offered practical guidance on what to do and what to avoid. But the biggest lessons came from simply watching him work. Tom admired how respectful Robert was toward every member of the crew. No matter how famous he became, he treated everyone with kindness. He always arrived prepared. He respected everyone's time. And, perhaps most importantly, he wasn't afraid to take creative risks. Sometimes those ideas didn't work, but even failed experiments often led to something even better. For Tom, watching Robert work was like attending the best acting school imaginable. The conversation then turned toward a question every Marvel fan has probably asked at least once. If you couldn't play Spider-Man, who would be your favorite superhero? Tom didn't hesitate. Iron Man. He admitted that even before joining Marvel, Iron Man had always been his favorite hero. But it wasn't only because of the suit or the incredible technology. It was because Robert Downey Jr. made Tony Stark feel effortlessly cool. Tom remembers growing up watching those films and thinking, that's the kind of hero everyone wants to be. Zendaya also joined the conversation. While she agreed that Iron Man is legendary, she revealed another favorite, Thor. She laughed as she explained how funny Chris Hemsworth is, both on screen and in real life. She also praised Mark Ruffalo, saying she's always admired him as both an actor and a person. Moments like these remind fans that even Marvel's biggest stars are still fans themselves. After discussing serious topics, the interview shifted into something much lighter. Since the press tour had brought everyone to Amsterdam, the interviewer challenged Tom with a few funny Spider-Man questions. If Spider-Man actually lived in Amsterdam, how would he use his webs? Would he swing across the city's famous canals? Would he use webs to protect his bicycle from thieves? Or would he create shortcuts through the narrow streets? Tom laughed throughout the conversation. He joked about the city's bikes and admitted he'd probably end up using his webs to keep one from being stolen. The interviewer then asked what Dutch superpower Spider-Man would choose. Never getting caught in the rain? Always finding a free seat on a train? Or always having the wind at his back while riding a bike? Tom instantly picked having the wind behind him, saying it would make swinging through the city much easier. It was a refreshing reminder that even while promoting a major blockbuster, Tom and Zendaya never lose their playful chemistry. As the interview came to a close, the interviewer shared something heartfelt. Spider-Man isn't just another superhero. Peter Parker represents hope. He's proof that ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary things. Anyone can see a little bit of themselves in Peter. The same goes for MJ. They're imperfect. They struggle. They make mistakes. And that's exactly why audiences love them. The interviewer thanked Tom and Zendaya for inspiring millions of young people to believe in themselves. It was one of the most emotional moments of the entire conversation. Finally came the question every Marvel fan wanted answered. Why should audiences watch Spider-Man? Brand New Day. Tom smiled before giving a simple but powerful answer. Because this movie is epic. The action is bigger than ever. The emotional moments hit harder than ever. And, perhaps most importantly, he believes this film feels like the beginning of an entirely new era for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tom says audiences won't be disappointed because this story isn't just another sequel. It's the next chapter in Peter Parker's journey. A fresh beginning after everything that happened before. Zendaya agreed, saying she's incredibly proud of what the team created. After years of building this version of Spider-Man together, they believe fans are about to experience something truly special. Looking back, it's amazing how much has changed since Tom Holland first put on the Spider-Man suit. What started as a dream audition has become one of the most beloved superhero journeys in modern cinema. Over the years, Tom has grown not only as an actor, but as a person. Zendaya has transformed MJ into one of Marvel's most memorable characters. Together, they've created a relationship that fans around the world have followed both on-screen and off. Now, with Spider-Man, Brand New Day, they're entering an entirely new chapter. One filled with heartbreak, hope, new beginnings, and bigger emotional stakes than ever before. If Tom Holland is right, this won't just be another Spider-Man movie. It could become the film that redefines Peter Parker for the next generation of Marvel fans. And if the passion, honesty, and excitement shown throughout this interview are any indication, fans are in for one unforgettable adventure. So, what do you think? Will Spider-Man, Brand New Day become Tom Holland's greatest Spider-Man movie yet? Do you think Peter and MJ will finally find their way back to each other? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on Tom Holland, Zendaya, Spider-Man, and everything happening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.